Hey YouTube, thanks for visiting. Hope all you are doing well. So one of our subscriber requested me to make this video, the PYQs discussion on probability section. So see, I think there was Sri Chandra ने comment किया था कि sir please make the PYQs video on probability section only. Okay, so see, basically there is the probability syllabus is very little in CSR net syllabus because the statistics in statistics portion probability is just one chapter. Okay, so in the chapters of probability there is like Bayes theorems. Okay, Bayes theorems, then geometric probability, then geometric definitions of probability, then some inequalities like Boole's inequality. Okay, so these types of questions or these types of terms are in the chapters of probability only. Okay, and all the remaining chapters or all the remaining topics are outside this, actually not probability related, but the questions, in the questions you will get the term probability, but actually you need to know some other concept to solve the problems. Okay, so in this video I will take 5 questions from June 2023. Okay, and 2 or 3 questions in the previous years of CSR net mathematical science paper. Okay, so see this video, if this video is helpful, and if you want to say something and if you want to take some other questions, then you can comment me in the comment section. Okay, so मैं ट्राई करता हूँ कि ये जो क्वेश्चंस आज लेके आया हूँ मैं, आप सभी का अच्छा लगेगा. ठीक है, एंड सीएसआर नेट का पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से ये obviously helpful भी रहेगा. ठीक है, so let's start. And before starting I am requesting you to all those who are new in my channel, please give a like to this video, share with your friends and subscribe the channel. Okay, so let's start. So question number 38 is, so see, if fx is probability density on the real line, then which of the following is not a valid probability density? So see, I say here that these questions are not just based on probability, because the probability chapter is very little. Okay, so see here the PMF. Okay, PM, that is probability mass function, or PDF, probability density function, the questions from random variables. Okay, these types of basic probability or statistics question we discuss here. Okay, and if this session is helpful, then you can make I can obviously make such types of lectures for CSR net PYQs on statistics and probability portion. Okay, so just want to think that then distribution. Okay, so the most important chapter is distribution. I think these chapters all are already read of the by the mathematics students also. Okay, so distribution, then some portions of estimability and linear model, वो applied stat का portion है, but वो भी I think it is very easy to solve the questions. Okay, and then the questions are from like different properties of distribution. So I will take I already take a question in this lecture from this distribution portion, and the continuous distribution, random distribution, जो मतलब standard distribution से वहाँ से भी जो questions आते हैं. ठीक है, वो ट्राई किया हूँ इस वीडियो के माध्यम से लेने के लिए. ठीक है, सो ऑब्वियसली आप एक बार कमेंट करके बताना कि ऐसे क्वेश्चन आपको मतलब जो मैथमेटिक्स का स्टूडेंट्स है तो ऐसे मतलब अच्छा लगे या फिर आप समझ सकते हो. एंड इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड, then we can proceed this lecture series on this probability PYQs. Okay, so now it says that, so see, probability density function. So basically in random variable we already read, I already take a lecture on random variable. Okay, so those who are not watching, it's a very I think old video, so you can go to my videos section of my YouTube channel and you can see. And probability mass function, probability density function, we already discuss on that video. Okay, so here it says that density function. So density means always the question based on continuous random variable. Okay, so there are, you all know I think that two types of random variable. One is discrete random variable and second one is the continuous random variable. Okay, so what is the basically property or definition you can say of the continuous random variable or PDF? So it says that if fx is a function, then continuous, the density function like this way. So minus infinity to infinity f of, for any variable, suppose y I take here, or you can say dy, this is equal to 1. You can take any variable, with respect to that variable you can get integration or you can do the integration. Okay, so here it says that whether it is a density function or not, that is we have to check whether this minus infinity to infinity f of x plus 1 is satisfied or dx, this satisfied 1 or not. So this is for any variable. So if we can take y equal to x plus 1, then the limit will be same and dy equal to also dx. Okay, so that means what? So that means integration minus infinity to infinity f of x plus 1 we can write instead of x plus 1, that is simply fy and dy also, and the limit will be same, this is equal to 1. So this means this function is a density function. Okay, so we have to find the not density function. Okay, so we can check the second option. The second option is integration minus infinity to infinity f of 2x dx. Okay, now we just replace this 2x by y. So if we take 2x equal to y, then 2 dx is equal to dy. So that means the limit will be same, minus infinity to infinity, and f of 2x means we write here f of y, and dy means half into dy. So that means half into this term integration minus infinity to infinity f y dy. Okay, and this integral value we know that 1, so that means this gives the value half. So this is not equal to 1. Okay, so that means this is not the density function. Okay, so this is the correct answer. You can also check these two options also, and I think you will get they are also the density function. So let's check once that integration minus infinity to infinity 2f of 2x minus 1. So if we take 2x minus 1 is equal to y or any other variable, then we get 2 dx is equal to dy. So the limit will be same because it is the limit of minus infinity to infinity. So minus infinity to infinity 2 into f of y, and dx means obviously dy by 2. So 2 got cancelled. So this is also you get a minus y to y f of y dy, and which is equal to 1, the definition of density function, which also satisfies. Okay, so this is also the density function. Similarly, you can check also the fourth option. Okay, so the not probability valid probability density function is option 2. Okay, now the next question is it says that which of the following is the valid cumulative distribution function. Okay, so what is the definition of distribution function actually? So this is cumulative distribution function or distribution function. So probability of f of x, this is equal to probability of x less equal to x, this is equal to integration minus infinity to x, okay, fx dx. This is the density function. Okay, this is the density function of single random variable where x is the continuous random variable. Okay, so this is the definition of cumulative distribution function or simply distribution function. Now there are some properties of this distribution function. We check through that properties that whether these four function given function satisfies those properties or not. Okay, so the first property is number 1, f of minus infinity is equal to 0 and f of infinity is equal to 1. Second one is f is continuous. Third one like this, f is monotonically non-decreasing. Okay, non-decreasing or monotonically increasing, you can just say. So these are the properties of this probability density function. Now we check whether they satisfies the properties or not. See, if we check option 1, okay, so it is f of minus infinity. So minus infinity means, so limit this f of minus infinity means limit x tends to infinity of fx. So fx here we put x tends to minus infinity means this function we put 1 by 2 plus x square. Okay, and this is equal to simply 0, you can see, and then the limit x tends to infinity f of x means this function. So this gives 2 plus x square by what this gives 3 plus x square. So this is infinity by infinity function. You can simply apply L'Hospital rule, or you can simply divide this numerator and denominator by x square. Okay, so 3 by x square plus 1. So this term, 2 term goes to 0 and this term goes to 1. So this means 1. So these two are satisfied. So this may be the cumulative distribution function. Okay, so now we can check the second option. So the second option for x tends to minus infinity, this term goes to 0. Okay, and for x tends to infinity, this term goes to what? So this is 2 by x square plus 1 by 3 by x square plus 2. So this term goes to half, which is not equal to 1. So we can discard this option. Okay, now from this this term as x tends to infinity, minus infinity tends to 0 as x tends to minus infinity, because we put the x tends to minus infinity this function, and then x tends to infinity means this one. So x tends to infinity means this gives what, 2 cos x, 2 cos x plus x square by 1. So infinity by infinity, so we can apply L'Hospital rule. So limit x tends to infinity minus 2 sin x, okay, plus 2x by what, 2x, okay. Then again apply L'Hospital rule, we get limit x tends to infinity what, minus 2 cos x by plus 2 by 2, okay. So see, this is also I think gives 1, yeah, at x tends to minus infinity, this term you gives that you can get different values of this. So this not is 1 I think, so we can discard these options also, okay. Now you can check the limit, this is very easy question. Now if we check these ones, then this gives what, oh, I think this limit is 1, we have to check once, and this limit gives this as x tends to minus infinity, this tends to 0, and this tends to what, 1 by 1, so this tends to 1, okay. So no, this limit does not tend to 1, so we can option discard these two option, okay. Now we have 1 and 4 option, so now we check whether they are increasing or not, okay. So in fourth option we can, if we see the fourth option, okay, so if we just see the 0 and 1 point, so increasing means what, for any two number a less than b, f is increasing means fa is less equal to fb, this will satisfy. So we take a and b, so if we take a equal to 0 and b equal to 1, so f of 0 means what, f of 0 means we put here, okay, f of 0, or you can take any minus function, negative function. F of 0 means what, f of 0 means 1 by 4, okay, and f of 1 means, just a minute, okay, so f of 1 means what, f of 1 means we can put also here, so 1 means 2 by 5, okay. So 2 by 5, this means this is the value of f of 1, okay. So this is 0.25 and this is 0.2, okay. So see, for 0 less than 1, f0 is not less than f1, okay, because f0 is greater value than f1, so we can discard this one because this is not monotonically increasing or monotonically non-decreasing, okay. So the option 1 is correct one, okay. Now next question, so this is the question id, देखो id में यहाँ पर मेंशन कर दिया हूँ, ठीक है. So let x be a Poisson random variable with mean lambda, then which of the following function is not estimable. So estimable का मतलब क्या है, ठीक है. तो estimable का मतलब देखो, mean means what, expectation of x, this is equal to lambda given है, ठीक है. तो यहाँ पर बोला है कि which of the following is not estimable. So we can get this x function for which we can get the expected value as lambda. That means obviously it is estimable for lambda, so we can obviously discard this one at first, obviously. See, so we have to find such a function here that we can get the remaining options, that is from lambda inverse or lambda square or expectation of minus lambda, okay. Now what is the density function or what is the probability mass function of Poisson distribution? So Poisson distribution probability of x equal to x equal to, we know that this is equal to e to the power minus lambda to the power x by x factorial for x equal to 0, 1, 2 and so on, and this is 0 otherwise, okay. So now see, and we also know that expectation of variance, we write that variance formula. So variance of x, this is equal to, we know that expectation of x square minus expectation of x whole square, okay. Now we all know that this the variance and the mean in case of Poisson random variable is same, so this is again same as variance, so we can write it variance, this is equal to lambda, this is equal to expectation of x square minus expectation of x means lambda square. So this one. So we can write expectation of x square, this is equal to lambda plus lambda square. Okay, so we get this one. So if we write if we take the expectation of this function x square minus x, okay, see how can you define or how can you think this question. So you have to take here lambda. For I obviously discuss for this option lambda square. So you have to take here lambda square. So you can think that how you can discard this lambda. Okay, so if we subtract here, देखो, so e of x square minus e of x, you can write it as lambda plus lambda square minus lambda square, because this is the value expectation of x, and we all know that this is this expectation satisfying the linearity property. So that means we can write expectation of x square minus x, this is equal to simply lambda square. So this is not lambda square, lambda. Okay, so we can get an estimable function x square minus x, for which we can get this value lambda square, that is this is also estimable. Okay, so this option we can discard this option also. Okay, now we have only two options, option A and option 4. So we go to option 4. Okay, so see here lambda means what, this one. So this is the probability mass function of fx. Now what is expectation of x? Expectation of x means summation, you all know that, I think. In case of density, that is the discrete random variable, it is x into px. Okay, so this is equal to summation x into px means what we write here, that e to the power minus lambda into lambda to the power x by x factorial. Okay, now we have to find a function such that we can get this e to the power minus lambda. So just think, here minus lambda is present, so we can discard this, okay, to get just simply value of x only. Okay, so if we take here, see expectation of minus 1 to the power x into e to the power lambda. Okay, then by definition of expectation, this is equal to, just I'll change the color. Okay, so from here we can write, so minus, this is summation x की जगह minus 1 to the power x रहेगा, यहाँ पे minus 1 to the power x into e to the power lambda into the PMF of the probability, the Poisson distribution, which is equal to e to the power minus lambda to the power x by x factorial. So this is got cancelled, and we can write this is equal to minus lambda to the power x by x factorial. Okay, so if we take the expectation of this function, then we obviously get what, if we get take the expectation, and this is the series, and this is the series expansion of e to the power minus lambda. Okay, so that is if we take the expectation of this function, which function, minus 1 to the power x into e to the power lambda, then we get the expected value as e to the power minus lambda. Okay, so that means this is also estimable. Okay, this is estimable, this is estimable, this is estimable. So this option is not correct. Not estimable is option A. Okay, so this is the correct answer of this problem. Now going to the next question. This is question number ID, this one 704104. It says that let A and B be two events in a discrete probability space with probability of A is greater than 0, probability of B is greater than 0. Then if probability of A given B is equal to 0, and the options are given. So see, this is the question based on conditional probability. Okay, so conditional probability also include in the syllabuses of probability or in the chapters of probability. Okay, so I think you all know that this is very basic problem. Probability of A given B, this is equal to probability of A intersection B by probability of B. Okay, so it is given that the value is 0. That means what? That means obviously the numerator will be 0. That means probability of A intersection B, this is equal to 0. Now what is the value of probability of B intersection A, B given A? Probability of B given A, this is equal to probability of B intersection A by probability of A, and probability of A intersection B and B intersection A are equal. That means 0 by probability of A, that means 0. That means this option is correct one. Okay, now option 2, see option 2. Option 2 says that Option 2 says that if probability of A given B equal to 1, A given B, this is equal to 1. This means what? Probability of A intersection B by probability of B, this is equal to 1. That means what? Probability of A intersection B, this is equal to probability of B. Okay, now then this value is equal to 1. So we check whether it is 1 or not. So probability of B intersection A, this is equal to probability of B, B given A, not intersection. Okay, B given A. So B intersection A by probability of A, and B intersection A means this one. A intersection B and B intersection A are same, we all know that. So this is equal to PB by PA, which is not equal to 1. Okay, so this option is incorrect one. Now the third option is I just erase this portion. Okay, okay. The third one is probability of A given B greater than probability of A. Probability of A given B, this is greater than probability of A. So if we can write as probability of A intersection B by probability of B, this is greater than probability of A. That means we can write from here that probability of A intersection B is greater than probability of A into probability of B. Now here it is probability of B given A. So if we divide both sides by probability of A, because probability of B, A and B obviously greater than 0, so we can divide obviously. So probability of A intersection B by probability of A, this is greater than probability of A probability of B by probability of B. And what is this? This is obviously probability of B given A is greater than PB got cancelled, sorry, this is PA, so PA got cancelled, this is probability of B. Okay, so which option is correct from A and B? So option 3 is correct. Now we check option 4 also. Okay, so option 4 says that option 4, probability of A given B, probability of greater than B means probability of A intersection B by probability of B is greater than probability of B. So you can see it is not correct obviously. Probability of A intersection B is greater than probability of B probability of whole square. Okay, now if we divide both sides by probability of A, because if you want to find probability of B given A, we have to divide both sides by probability of A. Okay, probability of A, this is greater than probability of B whole square by probability of A, but this is not equal to probability of A, and this is probability of B given A. Okay, is greater than this one, but this quantity is not equal to this one, so this is incorrect option. Okay, now next question, it is says that so let a continuous random variable x follow uniform -1 1. So let what is uniform distribution? This is very important distribution, uniform distribution. Okay, so uniform, if we write x random variable follows uniform distribution AB, then the density function, and this is continuous random variable, it is given a density function equal to 1 by B minus A, and mean equal to what? Expectation of x, that is mean equal to A plus B by 2, and variance of x is equal to B minus A whole square by 12. So this is the mean and variance. When the questions comes based on distribution, you just think, or you just recall the basic properties of the distributions. Okay, now it is associated, the questions associated with uncorrelated. Okay, that means the question related with correlation coefficient. So you have to know the definition of correlation coefficient. Okay, so what is the correlation coefficient? So R of xy, this is equal to covariance of xy by sigma x sigma y. Sigma x and sigma y are the standard deviation of the random variable x and random variable y. We also write this is as sigma xy by sigma x sigma y. That is the covariance is also written as the sigma xy. Okay, now what is you have to find, this is given y equal to x square. That means the random variable y obviously depend on x. Okay, so that is what the random two variables x and y are obviously not independent. Okay, so the independent options we got discard from the options, so they are independent events. So this option incorrect. They are independent, no. So 1 2 are gaya. They are not independent but correlated. So we check whether they are uncorrelated or correlated. Okay, now expectation we already get, and we also know the relation between variance and expectations. Okay, so now we find the expectation of x y. So now it is given expectation of x. So what is the formula to finding the expectation? Since this is the continuous random variable and limit is given uniform -1 to 1, otherwise it is minus infinity to infinity in general form, and since it is given -1 to 1, so we write here minus infinity to infinity. So I just simply write the general formula. Okay, so expectation of gx for any function, if we want to find any for any function the expected value, so this will be gx into the density function of this distribution into dx. Okay, so here we have to find just expectation of y. Okay, expectation of which is needed or not, just a minute, I will check once. See, covariance meet one, cov of xy, this is equal to expectation of xy minus expectation of x into expectation of y. Okay, now expectation of y means what? A plus b by 2. So a plus b means here 1 plus minus 1 by 2. Okay, so this is equal to 0. That means this value goes to 0. So we have to find only the expectation of xy. Okay, so expectation of xy, this is equal to what? Y is equal to x square. So this is equal to expectation of x cube. And what is the formula? We just write here, the limit is -1 to 1, so that's why we write -1 to 1. Then x cube into fx means what? Fx means b minus a means 1 minus 1 minus minus 1. That means 1 by 2. Okay, so into 1 by 2 dx, and since this is odd function, that means this is 0. Okay, so the cov is 0, and cov 0 means what? Cov 0 means rxy also 0. That means they are uncorrelated. If we get this value non-zero, then we say that the random variables are correlated. Okay, and if we get this value rxy as 0, then we say that they are uncorrelated. Okay, so it says that correlated, no, this is also incorrect. And so that means what? They are not correlated and not independent. So this option is the correct statement, but we have to find the not correct statement. Okay, so these three are the correct one. Okay, so I think you understand this question. So if you understand, then please give a like to this video. Okay, now going to next question. So this is the question of September 2022. Okay, so it says that suppose x is the random variable such that probability of x belongs to 0 1 and 2 equal to 1. If for some constant c, what is given? You have given that probability of x equal to I. The relation is probability of x equal to I equal to c into probability of x equal to I minus 1, and you have the point 0 1 and 2. Okay, so if we just calculate probability of x equal to, I find first 2. Okay, so this is equal to c into probability of x equal to 1, and probability of x equal to 1 means what? Then again c into probability of x equal to 0, that is c square probability of x equal to 0. Okay, so these are the given points. Okay, now it is given that this value is 1. Okay, now we can just write x and px as this table. So 0 1 and 2. Now probability of x equal to 0, if we put this is 1, then we get what? Probability of x equal to 0 means this value, if we take here from 1, then probability of x equal to 1 means probability of x equal to 1 means what? Probability of x equal to 1, this is equal to c into probability of x equal to 0 and probability of x equal to 0, we take 1, then this value is c. So this value is c, and probability of x equal to 2 means c into c square into 1, so this is c square. Okay, so we have to find the expected value of this random variable x. Okay, so expected value of this random variable x, this is equal to summation what, px. Okay, or we can write summation fx by summation f. So this is equal to summation f means these are the total probability 1 plus c square. Okay, so these two options got cancelled. Okay, and then summation f into x means 0 into 1, this 0 into 1, 1 into c, 2 into c square. So 0 into 1 means 0, 1 into c means c, and 2 into c square means c square. So this is c plus 2c square. Which option? Option here B, A is incorrect. Okay, this is the question and these are the answer. Now this question is based on what, the Bayes theorem. Okay, so this is the question from November 2020. Okay, Bayes theorem का question है, ठीक है. So see, it says that in an examination involving multiple choice questions, a students work out solution 50% of the questions. In the remaining questions, the students guess the answer. However, when the answer guess the probability that he is correct is 0.30. दैट मीन्स कुछ क्वेश्चंस ये सही कर रहा है, माने पेन यानी कि पेन पेपर में, एंड कुछ क्वेश्चंस को गेस कर रहा है, ठीक है, एंड 50% क्वेश्चन को ये कर रहा है, ठीक है. व्हेन द स्टूडेंट्स वर्क आउट सॉल्यूशन, इट मे बी रॉन्ग विथ प्रोबेबिलिटी 1.10. then if the answer is particular question is correct, what is the probability that the student guessed answer? So see, the questions of these types of questions, that is the based on the Bayes theorem, is very easy if you want to find the associated probability at the time of exam. Okay, so we take here, we consider two events, E1. Okay, what is E1? That the questions he worked out, actually worked out. That means the questions he solved by using pen and paper. Okay, मतलब जो वो क्वेश्चंस को खुद से सॉल्व किया है, ठीक है. एंड E2 क्या ले रहे हैं, E2 को गेस्ड, मतलब जो क्वेश्चंस गेस करके, मतलब ये पूरा के पूरा लिखा होगा, मैं छोटा करके मतलब लिख रहा हूँ, ठीक है, गेस, ठीक है, दैट इज ही गेस्ड द क्वेश्चन. नाउ द एसोसिएटेड प्रोबेबिलिटी, राइट, व्हाट he solved, gives the answer correct, he gives correct answer. Okay, now probability of E1 is equal to what, 50% means 50 by 100. Okay, this is 0.5. okay, and remaining means another 50%. so probability of E2, this is equal to same as 0.5, because these two probability obviously 1. Okay, sum of these two probabilities. Now probability of that he correct is 30%. okay, correct is 30% means he guessed, that is the answer is guessed, the probability that he correct is 30%. okay, correct, that means probability of E2 given A. Okay, he got correct answer provided he gives the, just a second, what is the answer he guessed, the probability that it is correct, just a second, sorry, not E2 given A given A2. okay, so just a second, so probability of he gives the correct answer provided he guessed the answer. okay, this is what, this is given 30%, that is 0.3. okay, and the second one, it says that when he solved the answer, that is he worked out the questions is wrong with probability 0.10. that means when he solved the answer, it is the probability is to correct the answer what, 0.90, because total probability is 1. okay, so probability of A given E1, this is equal to 0.9. so very careful with these questions with the data. okay, now we have to find what is the answer, particular correct. So we have to find guess the answer. That means probability of E2 given A. He gives correct answer. Okay, we have to find this probability. Okay, now so we all know the formula. Probability of E2, probability of A given E2 by sum of the probabilities, that is probability of E1 into probability of A given E1 plus probability of E2 into probability of A given E2. Okay, so we just put the values and get the answer. Okay, so probability of E2 means 0.3 into A given E2, this is 0.3 and E2 means 0.5, so 0.5, and the lower value is 0.5 into A given E1 means 0.9 plus 0.5 into 0.3. So if we take common 0.5 from the denominator, this is 0.3 by 0.5 into 0.9 and 0.3 gives 1.2. Okay, so these two got cancelled, and if we write, then we get 1.4, that is 0.25. Okay, so the correct answer is this one, 0.25. Okay, another one question, it is also questions from best theorem, and this is the questions from CSIR December 2019. Okay, it says that there are 3 urns, U1, U2 and U3, each with balls of 2 colors. Okay, U1 contains 2 white and 3 black balls, so 2 white plus 3 black U1 contains. Okay, then U2 contains 3 white and 2 black ball, so 3 white plus 2 black ball in U2. Then in U3 contains 5 white and 5 black ball, so 5 white plus 5 black in U3. Okay, so what is the probability that U2 was chosen, that U2 was chosen given that the ball picked up is black color? So we have to first choose the associative probability. So this is a big thing. So we choose the associated probability as A, as the ball is black. Yeah, it is a black ball, मतलब जो बॉल उठ रहा है वो ब्लैक बॉल होगा. ठीक है, ब्लैक बॉल. ठीक है, एंड आर्न 1 एंड आर्न 2 एंड आर्न 3 का चूज करने का प्रोबेबिलिटी क्या है, क्योंकि ये रैंडम है तो ये 1/3 1/3 1/3 1/3 होगा. तो प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ यू आई इक्वल टू 1/3 और आई इक्वल टू 1 2 एंड 3. मतलब प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ U1 इक्वल टू 1/3, प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ U2 इक्वल टू 1/3 एंड प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ U3 इक्वल टू 1/3. Now we have to find the probabilities. Probability of what? Probability of, just a second, probability of A given U1. A given U1. Why? Because it is given that we choose the black ball provided it comes from urn 1. What is the probability? This is the probability. urn 1 में black ball how many? 3, total ball 5, so this is 3/5. Okay, then probability of A given U2, this is equal to 2/5, and probability of A given U3, this is equal to 5/10, because in urn 3 there is 5 black ball, total ball 10, 2 black ball, total ball 5. Okay, now what is the question? Question is that the probability that U2 was chosen given that the ball is black. That means we have to find probability of U2 provided the ball is black. Okay, provided means conditional probability. Given that, when you have see in the question that given that, provided that, these are the always conditional cases of the probability. Okay, so this one, so the formula is probability of U2 into probability of A given U2 by probability of summation लिख देता हूँ मैं यहाँ पर, probability of UI into probability of A given UI, I equal to 1 2 and 3. okay, I equal to 1 to 3. So this is equal to, we just write probability of u2 means what? Pu2 means obviously 1/3. So 1/3 into a given u2 means 2 upon 5, 2 upon 5, एंड पी यू आई का वैल्यू जो है 1/3 है. सो तीनों के 30 में मतलब मैं कॉमन लेकर लिख रहा हूँ यहाँ पर, ठीक है. 1/3 इंटू 3/5 प्लस 2/5 प्लस 5/10. So 1/3 cancel from both sides. So I write here just 2/5 by so 10 is the LCM and 6 plus 4 plus 5. So 15/, we write 10. So this is 2/5 into 10/15. Okay. So 5 to the, and the answer is 4/15. So option is option B. Okay. So these are the problems, and these are the total 8 problems. I'll try to solve. Okay. So if the session is helpful, then obviously give a like to this video, share with your friends and subscribe the channel. And if you want these types of videos, okay, that is the solution of PYQs on probability and some basic statistics problem, that is on distribution and like this. So you can obviously comment me in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe the channel. Okay, so thank you, bye.